So it's July 18th, 2025. I'm just trying to show this here. July 18th, 2025 at 9 p.m. on a Friday night. So I'm just going to show you, this video is going to show how exactly how smart I am. So this is why the Canadian government, they chose poorly. I'm doing a bunch of baseball signals, but I'm signaling to the artificial intelligence system to let them know that these human parasites need to be removed permanently. So, anyways, I'll give you 10 reasons why I'm one of the smartest, if not the smartest guy on the planet. So, first of all, to save civilization, and my name's Christian Aragorni Meyer. I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy, and so every time I with the circle, this is going to reveal that somebody's trying to pretend to be me, and with nanotechnology and biomolecular communication. So I'm not going to mention it every time because they do this to piss me off. But I'm just going to remove the circle, and then when you look at that subliminally, it's going to reveal who these perpetrators are, and they're going to be brought to justice. Like when you break into a house, you go to prison for life imprisonment. So imagine hijacking and breaking into somebody's body. You're going to prison forever, the rest of your natural life. That means. So, anyways, so one way to save civilization is to low orbit telecommunication satellites. They aren't protected by the magnetosphere, so you could put a magnetic field around them, and then these magnetic fields would protect it from coronal mass ejections or solar flares. The last time it happened was 1859, and it took out telegraph wires and even set them on fire when people were still doing Morse code, right? So you could have this, and then at the same time you have the satellites looking inwards towards Earth and outwardly in the universe for asteroids, right? So that's one idea. And then idea number two is to have the same technology now orbiting planets in the solar system. So it's looking internally and then externally out in the universe for asteroids coming towards Earth with a different trajectory, giving us a different vantage point to get all the asteroids that would potentially harm and end our life as we know it, basically. So then while they're looking internally at the solar systems, like the planets in the solar system, we could be doing some scientific evaluations. It's kind of killing two birds with one stone. So then with nanoparticulates that are in the air, you could use it to reflect some of the sun's light to cool the planet, particularly in the depleted regions of the ozone, and cool the planet to the ideal temperature for biological life on Earth, particularly for the human race and our food supply and most species, all species ideally. And then so there's three ideas right there, three ideas. And then so now people typically, if they're older and they have hearing aids, they typically need reading glasses at the very least, and or glasses to see as their eyes get diminished with time as people age, right? So that being said, nobody has ever developed glasses that have hearing aids built into the frame of the glasses, so they only have one device rather than two devices. So there's four ideas, right? So now on an ocean liner or on airplanes, like a raft that they would have, if you're in an ocean liner, right, like you're going to be on the ocean, right? So there's salt water, so you can't really drink it. So what you do is you have a vessel like this, and you put salt water in it, but then in the middle you would have a cup, right? And so you'd gather salt water, you'd put it in the vessel. And if you wanted to do this as an experiment, what you would do is just grab a pot, and then you put a pot there, and then you put a cup, maybe with some rocks in the cup, and then you put just a plastic bag, and then you put a rock in the center of the plastic bag over the cup, and then the evaporation from the salt water will go on the plastic and then condensate, drip down and condensate into the cup, giving you drinking water. So this premise, with a solar still, would be the same thing. So it would have some sort of container where you could collect the salt water, and then it would have a drinking vessel that you'd be able to drink from. So it would have a container, so the evaporation would condensate into the cup. So then in the center of the life raft, there could be a buoy to stabilize it on the ocean, and it could have some fishing gear inside there, and possibly a solar panel barbecue to be able to cook the fish, whatever you catch, right? Because whenever a ship goes down or a plane goes down, the odds of finding the life rafts is like finding a needle in the haystack, right? Like the ocean currents, you could be like, one day you could be like 100 miles away from the crash site, right? So being able to convert like salt water into drinking water and fish would be paramount for survival. So that's 5 ways why I'm the smartest, if not one of the smartest, if not the smartest guy on the planet. So then the 6th way would be sharks are susceptible to electromagnetic interference, right? So what they could do is have beaches, like around beaches, they could have buoys around beaches that have like shark repellent electrical signals that could be solar panel. And so they would repel sharks and it prevent people from getting eaten or bit by sharks that are in beach areas. So that's 6 ways. So then so you could hear me coughing. These are all these people that are trying to set me up to gain acclaim and credit for these innovations, but this is my brain. It's my brain. With DNA leeching, they use my attributes and think they're as smart as me. So watch how dumb I'm going to look when I disconnect these people. This is how retarded they're going to look, mentally incompetent they're going to look. Right, that's how I disconnect the people that were connected to me. Okay, it's my brain that makes you smart, dumbass. Right, so that's why in Canada, before I was born, I was born in 1977. Canada was 27th in the world in Olympics for the 1976 Olympics. They boycotted the 1980 Olympics, and then in 1984 they went from 27th in 1976, and then the next time they participated was 1984. They were now 6th place because my body, Christian Eric Arnie Meyer, and here's the proof. Right, so these people are pretending to be me. So anyways, there was the 6 ideas. So then, so let me see. So was the satellite internally, like around Earth, and then around the solar system, reflecting the the UV light, and then there was 6. Okay, there's 6. So then the 4 more ideas would be so now you would have, like, just say you need to take prescriptions or pills, right? And you're gonna forget throughout the day, right? You like because you may forget, right? So you could have the pill container, the pill dispenser, where you have a thumb print, or you could have a button, like some sort of digital thing, and be like, okay, you last took your pill at such and such time. You're not scheduled to take another pill until such and such time, right? So that would be idea number 7. And then idea number 8 is for first responders. Would be able to if they just say they're in traffic on the freeway, right? Everybody's in front of them. They're slow. They're not able to get to where they need to go. What they could do is when they're behind the car, because during the day, you're not necessarily going to see the flashing lights because you're looking at your windshield, right? You're not looking at your mirrors as often. You should be checking. You're supposed to check every 5 seconds or so, but not everybody does it, right? And people have the radio on loud a lot of the time, right? So they're not able to always hear that the sirens are on to indicate that they should pull over. It might take about 10, 15 seconds, right? So now if the first responders are trying to get down the freeway, if they always have to wait 10, 15 seconds, then that's when people die in fires and they can't get back to the hospital in time. So casualties happen as a result of this. So with this technology, you could have the sirens on, and then it could override the radio within the car. And then it could be like, hey, pull over in the slow lane. We need to get by for the first responders. So now you could use the same technology for police. All right, so this is kind of like 7, 8 idea. And by 8, 9, this would be 8, 9 idea. And so then you'd be able to use the same idea with police. So there'd be like, hey, pull over now, right? With this technology on the radio, it override the radio. But then should they not pull over the radio, this is where part 9 idea comes through. Like they would be behind the vehicle and they're going to have taillights exposed, right? So with the lights flashing, the police would be able to press a button in the cruiser, and then they would be able to disable the vehicle, preventing a high-speed pursuit from occurring, right? And they would also be able to do this from in front of the vehicle. Like, so so with it, like this would mitigate the need for spike strips and coordination. And because over in the States, in the United States of America, over 100 people die every year from police pursuits. And how many accidents happen, innocent bystanders get hurt, right? But in front, if the police cruiser was in front of the person that was in the high speed pursuit, the taillights from the sirens would be able to go through the headlights, or their taillights, the police cruiser's taillights would be able to indicate and jam, like almost like an electromagnetic pulse, and disable the vehicle accordingly, presented high speed pursuits. So that's 9 ideas. And then this one's a little bit not as life-saving or life changing as much, but this is something, just an idea that I had recently. Well, I had this years ago. I had it when I'm 47 now. I first had it when I was about 29. I went to an innovation hub, and the last year I was eligible for it, and I basically wanted to make at the mall, you know how they have the kiosk where you could get a picture done, right? So this is the same kind of premise, but you could get a t-shirt printed out with your face on it. So like mainly for teenage girls or like best friends, right? They go to the mall and then be, hey bestie, and then they could get their picture and then have their face on a t-shirt printed out, right? Or if parents brought their kids to the mall, they could do that stuff. And the same kind of premise could be employed for different other things. So there's 10 viable ideas, and it should prove how smart I am. My name is Christian Eric Meyer. The Canadian government keeps me poor, makes me panhandle. I've been ripped off of fourplex, 4 2-bedroom apartments. I doubled my money on the stock market in 16 days, and I put a guy on a straight flush. And I'll just show you the straight flush here. So with the straight flush, there was 2 possible straight flush possibilities, and the odds of a straight flush in Texas Hold'em poker are 1 in 72,192 or 93, depending on the source you go to. And so there was 2 straight flush possibilities. There was a 4 of a kind possibility. There's a three full house possibilities. There was 6 straight possibilities, and then there's a 3 of a kind possibility and 3 2 pairs. So the odds were 1 in 5.197 quintillion. That's 5,197 quadrillion, or 5,197,000 trillion, or 5,197,000,000 billion. Right, and I never got famous because the people in code software, people hijack and pretend to be me, and they put software on there that I don't condone. And then the government has Bill C-18, which is anti-pedophilia, rape, and bestiality. I'm assuming, which I am against. And here's my attempts all the time to try to stop that. And and then also hate propaganda. So they try to they keep me poor to exploit my intellectual property, basically. So this proof. Here we go, proof. So I'll just show you. This is why right here. Like well, in this video right here, 3 species of human. I have evolved human biology, different back muscles that nobody has, and then I'll show you the straight flush. Actually, I'll play these 3 videos first because the father and son with evolutionary genes is first. So I'll just show you that. So keep in mind this video here. I've only thrown a football less than 200 times my entire life, and I was throwing it, and I was aimed to hit the soccer goal post, and which is about 4 inches in diameter, and I was within 6 inches plus, like left or right of my target, and I attempted once. My son was filming me. He paused it. He walked over with the soccer ball. I walked over, grabbed the camera. He walked over with the soccer ball. He was over 5 feet tall at the time, and he tried once and he hit it. So we both only tried once in this video. That's why it's only 19 seconds long.
Some of that evolutionary talent. Here's me going bar down with the football.
So that was my first attempt. And this is my son's name's Chase. I call him Chase Smolder, Fantastic Junior, because I'm irrecristable. So that was so I'm just going to skip through this video, most of it. So, I was a little hesitant. You got to understand at this point, I had the nut flush, right? So the nut flush in Texas Hold'em poker, the only hands that could beat a nut flush are a full house, a 4 of a kind, a straight flush, and a royal flush. So I had the best possible flush you could have. I would beat a straight. So I'm like, okay, well, he had the king, but before that, I'm like, okay, there's a straight flush, and then a 4 of a kind. So I was hesitant. Like if he just had a straight, I would have instantly called. I wouldn't even have talked on the video whatsoever. I wouldn't have been like, oh, he had a straight flush. He had a 4 of a kind. I just would have snap called. So I called. It was a real money hand. I called knowing that I was going to lose $2. It was only $2, but I called knowing that I was going to lose real money because I was trying to get sponsorship at this point in time. Because I have a poker channel on YouTube. It's Christian Meyer, and if you type in poker, you can probably still know there's about 159 videos that are like the first 50 are good, right? Like you're going to see talented poker, but I wasn't really talking into the camera because I didn't want to reveal my tricks to potential online opponents that are anonymous, right? I didn't want to do that. But then after a while, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna do it because I want to raise the ante. I want to be the best. And so if I always give people if I'm always educating people, right, then I have to force myself to get better continuously. So anyways, so watch this video here.
Restaurants every day, but at least one meal. It might be, if the hotel doesn't provide breakfast, it's like, okay, let's go to the grocery store and grab some bananas or some bread and royal flush draw. Let's see how this works out.
So right there was 9, 10, Jack, and Queen, right? So there's a potential 8 of clubs for the lower straight flush, or the potential king of clubs for the high straight flush. But how fast my opponent bet indicated that he would have bet his entire house. He was so confident that he had the winner, and I knew he didn't have the royal flush because I had the ace of clubs, right? So I knew he had the king 100% certainty because how fast he bet. Like, because if he would have bet really fast with the 8 of clubs, he's a fish, right? Because he would have the second best hand. But he bet like he had the nuts, which would have been the king of clubs. And so once again, there was the king of clubs, the 8 of clubs, the 2 queens, the pocket jacks with the 2 queens, the pocket 10s with the 2 queens, and the pocket 9s with the 2 queens for the 3 full houses. Then there was 6 straights. There was three kings that weren't the clubs, like the king of spades, diamonds, and hearts, and then the 8 of spades, diamonds, and hearts. And then there was 1 queen, and then any other card for the 3 of a kind, and then the 2 pairs, a jack and the 2 queens, the 10 and the 2 queens, and the 9 and the 2 queens. So I did the math, and the odds were 1 in 5.197 quintillion. And I got exactly like 50 views on this. I got 0 likes. And this is how many views they pretend I got. Right, but they have Bill C-18 to prevent me from being famous, to exploit my intellectual property, basically, and steal my attributes.
It's only $2. I have to call because I have the nut flush, but I'm certainly.
So you can see how I'm apprehensive. I'm like, okay, well, it's only $2. I have to call, because at that point I knew I was going to lose. Right, because I'm like, I have to call to the net flush, and then I'm kind of working through it, and then I'm like, okay, then I'll listen to the rest of it.
The straight flush and a 4 of a kind. So I think he might have the king. He had the king. So I would have folded if it was more than that, but I just wanted to show that I can put him on the king. If it was more than $2, I would have folded there because I knew that he had the straight flush. I knew he had the straight flush because that's my luck.
So in this particular video, I'm the only person that could do this without a brain computer interface assisting them. But I'm having a conversation. Well, I'm using 2 parts of my brain. I'm using, I'm talking to the camera while I'm simultaneously doing math. It's one thing your teacher, like when they're at school, they're writing down, like, what they have on their board, but they're not actually computing math with their brain simultaneously.
But I'm going to write down any 2 numbers and simultaneously talk while I'm doing some math. And the numbers are going to be 78 times 48. So 78 times 48. So being able to think about my brain being the influence for quantum computing is very simple, because I'm able to do this because I have that genetic advantage that other people don't have. So very simply, I was able to come up with 3,744. Let's see if I'm right.
That was the correct answer. So I'm just going to play these 2 songs, and then just to show you how talented I am. So it shows how physically talented I am. Okay, so keep in mind, I could jump kick, with the football. I threw the football. And the first time I tried out for hardball, where somebody threw a hardball at me. I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy. Once again, my name's Christian Eric Arnemeyer. The first time I played hardball, where they pitched at me with a pinochle, a hardball. I was 15. I tried out for the tournament team, the rep team, and I would have made the team. It would have cost $2,000 for my parents. My parents couldn't afford it, so I only played house league for $60. And I made the paper almost every week. and I got called up to play against 21-year-olds many times, but I didn't realize it was the last season of House League, or else I would have went and challenged myself with the 21-year-olds. If I would have realized it was an opportunity to become a pro baseball player, I would have went down that road, but I didn't do that. And so before I play those songs, I'll just show you two things first of all. Right, because the doctor, I'm at the Surrey Hospital right now, and the doctor says I have grandiose beliefs. So the grandiose beliefs means you think you're better than what you are. So I'm going to show you exactly how attractive I was when I was younger. So, well, first of all, that was me at like, say, 36. That was me around 36. Now I'll show you when this was me at 19. When I looked like this at 19 years old, I went to a modeling tryout in Toronto, and they said I had an opportunity to go to New York City, and about 20 to 50 modeling agents would have a chance to sign me, and I didn't go. But you can see how I look like George VI. He's the king of United Kingdom, because I'm going to be the true king. And I even look like Emperor Meiji. He's was the first Japanese emperor when they opened up their border to foreigners again. And I even look like the second last Russian Tsar, Alexander III, and his son Nikolai II. But anyways, so that's what I look like. I'm trying to find, I do have other modeling pictures. So I guess I'll show you this first. So here, this is generation 1 biology. You can see the white back muscles, the indentations. That's generation 1, that's regular guys. This is my son. He's my son Chase Alexander Barry Meyer. He has generation 1.5 biology. You can see he has different back muscles than the last guy. And then you can see I'm Christian Eric Arnie Meyer. I have a V there. I don't have any indentations in my back muscle like this guy does. You can see the indentations right there and then right there. And then once again, I don't have that. I have a straight V. So the Canadian government is saying that I don't have evolved biology. So what's going to happen is once I get released from the hospital, I'm going to be able to go to any other country on the planet, because they have privatized healthcare, most of them, and then be like, okay, well, how much does it cost for an x-ray or a computed tomography test? Then it's going to show that I have different muscles and different organs, and then I'm going to be able to litigate against the Canadian government at that point. Like it costs I might go to Brazil. It's like $6.70 to $84 American to get an X-ray in Brazil. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing Rio de Janeiro. Like, anyways, so here's I wrote this song "Poker Dancer" because you know, in case my goal was to make it to the World Poker Tour final table, and it was 6-handed. So this would be kind of like when I was walking, you know, getting hyped up to the final table, my entrance music. This was the song I wrote for myself.
So this is Poker Dancer. He's the poker dancer. He knows the answer. He makes the bets. She gets wet with temptation. He's a sensation that people be craving. He's so amazing. From nation to nation, his sensation, a living legend. His acts are never mentioned. He tries to liberate your mind. It's only a matter of time until he shines, because he is the poker dancer. He knows the answer. He makes the bets. She gets wet with temptation. He's a sensation that people be craving. He's so amazing. She shows a grin, much to his chagrin. I bet, flush with sweat, he calls to see the river. She makes her best bluff, holding a royal. He surely bluffs, because he is the poker dancer. He knows the answer. He makes the bets. She gets wet with temptation. He is a sensation that people be craving. He is so amazing. So I could read that time, and that's without my eyes being...
So I curse after that point. So anyways, now I'll play Alone at Last. This is an R&B song. And then I'll play 3 more songs. I'm going to play the R&B song, and then I'll play a country song I wrote, and then I'll play a comedic song I wrote.
Evolve, it's Alone at Last. Kiss that we both would miss. Inebriated by just lost, we can't get enough. It all started with words that attach a new flame, but one that's burnt free. Just the moment is right, alone at last. Crank reached out with an ironclad ocean like a good movie with a roller coaster of emotions. Infatuated by each other's presence, the words have to be mentioned. Unconditional faithfulness eliminates much stress. Canalized and sensual speaking is always good when it's what the other one likes. That unforgettable kiss that we both would miss. Inebriated by each other's lust, we can't get enough. It all started with words and a touch, and you flame one that's burnt free. Just the moment is right, alone at last. We're murder in the beat. Role players stay the same. Whatever adds sparks to this flame, get them so hot they glow in the dark like a lava lamp. Once you put them through the pieces, loving each other's teeth. Compare both to the links you keep dreamers. You form a habit. Next time you're alone, you can capture this magic again. Build on your repertoire. Switch things up and be your star. The unforgettable kiss.
No, that sucked. That was inadvertent. Well, I guess I'll play this. This shows my unique pectoral muscles. I was just messing around, and or it could have been brain-computer interface biomolecular communication that because I was going to reveal the perpetrators that made the digital, like the instrumentals for me. So watch when I flex my muscle, my pectoral muscle. Watch how high up it goes compared to any other guy that flexes their muscle. It goes up almost all the way up to my shoulder.
They allow rapists at the Sioux area hospital to violate my human experience. And they're hacking my phone right now. I'm just trying to get proof of the medical malpractice. In Canada, they allows me to be violated.
Okay, so I was just sure. You can see how far it goes up. You can watch the rest of that video. So now I'm just going to play, it's called Trip. And this is a country song I wrote recently.
I'm just going to...
So my goal of this song was to write a country song that you could play at a wedding. Like kind of be like a wedding anthem and mainly for somebody else to perform it. Maybe my son potentially to perform, but some country guy to perform it.
So lost for words, how absurd, how to gain the nerve, how to think of something fast. I'm hoping to make this one last. Tripped over my jaw, if you could only see what I saw. I could tell it was more than her body. She made something change inside of me. She made me the man I was meant to be. Just like in Texas Hold'em, I was all in from the start. Like my life was meant nothing up until this point. The point was mute, my brain could hardly compute what to say, but my smile did. And she seemed to notice. Tripped over my jaw, if you could only see what I saw. I could tell it was more than her body. She made something change inside of me. I knew she could set me free. When I looked into her eyes, I was mesmerized as her souls melded. If I could only tell you how this felt, the elixir of love, this is my only drug. If I was inside of her, I wouldn't want to close my eyes as her souls had nothing to hide. I knew if I were to die at the end of this moment, I knew I wouldn't be disappointed. I started to blush, could tell this was more than a crush. Tripped over my jaw, if you could only see what I saw. I could tell this is more than her body. She made something change inside. She couldn't seem desperate, so I couldn't seem desperate, so I checked myself. Complimented her on her style. She gave me the most beautiful smile. This drove me wild. Tripped over my jaw, if you could only see what I saw. My heart began to race. I wanted to suck on her lips and see if her lipstick had a taste. I have eyes for no other, like there is no other. This woman is the only one I see, even if I were meant to live for eternity. Tripped over my jaw, if you could only see what I saw. I could tell it was more than her body. She made something change inside of me. I knew she could make me the man I was meant to be. This will set me free. My heart is normally locked in a box. She had the combination which I thought nobody could solve. She was like a pussycat toying with me like a mouse. Words could barely come out of my mouth. Couldn't stop smiling. I wouldn't want to make my move until she was ready. I'd read all the signals, anxious like I wanted to yell bingo. But I will wait because I know this is my fate. When the timing is right, I'm going for more than a night. I want her for life and make this woman my wife. Tripped over my jaw, if you could only see what I saw. for somebody else to perform. But anyways, Kaylee.
So I guess I did put some. I'll just show you my comedic prowess now. So let's see which one that I have, and this one's pretty funny.
I'm gonna make a video, and I always feel like I'm telling stuff because my hands are moving like this. It's like a little like saying Trump's. Anyways, it's International Women's Day, so I figured to make a quick little video about the length that guys go to impress girls. So I don't know, it's probably about 8. I'm riding my bike, I see this girl with her mom, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna impress her. So I'm riding my bike, so I stick my foot in the tire to lift it up, right? But I'm like, I'm gonna hold on to it extra long. So I do. Next thing you know, boom, I'm sliding on my face, right? So then I had to pick up my bike and my pride, right? And as I do that, right, it must have worked because she looked back. So me and my youngest brother Adam, we're climbing this mountain, right? It's probably more like a hill. But to start with, like, Tom Cruise, it's impossible. Right? Adam takes a page right out of the Mountain Goat playbook. He's trying to get the highest level, fastest water's coming in all around us. We better go. You know, so having left myself high and dry in the past, I'm thinking, okay, we better make sure we can get down so we don't need to get rescued by sooner. I'm fluent in gibberish, stuttering, and tripping. So we make our way to the top. It's like this art class is going on, right? We see easel and all these art supplies. And I'm thinking, hey, today is the day I get to become a nude model. And how'd you guys get up here? You know, so I guess there's more than one way to get to your destination. One's like, oh la la, smooth. Another one's harder, riskier, and faster.
So that was before I realized that people could listen to my thoughts. So you could see I was more lighthearted back then. But now I'll just play another one. I said it's going to play Cheeky Panties. So I'm going to play not Cheeky Panties. I'm going to play you Grandma Panties. Cheeky Panties is kind of like just a regular song. But Grandma Panties is meant to be a fun song. Like a comedic song. Like I'm your comedic laugh artist. Because I'm the smartest. My daughter came up with laugh artist. She's my laugh artist. So I think this might be over here.
This is a funny comedic song that I wrote on one of my profiles on TikTok from a profile that I have, and so this is just telling this isn't about anybody in particular. Like I just realized that there are more than likely some guys that feel this way.
So that's one of my funny songs. I'm just gonna find some other one. One of my favorite. I guess there's several lyrics I came up with that I like. I came, I saw, I'm conquering, and make the women moan, and and the men enthralled, which is quite astonishing. I'm one of the best to put in the reps. One hand broad and clip. Next thing you know, she grabs my trouser and zip. There's that song. Then there's I want to be that legend between your thighs. When away you can't sleep at night. Lyric, I like that one. And then what else is there? There's oh, Canada, I got that PhD in seduction, make your body start erupting. And then I guess that's when I would say that I want to be that legend between your thighs. When I'm away, you can't sleep at night. I'm a sweet and Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Once I get in your legs, you'll know what I mean. You'll feel my words like man-made thunder. Feel my gyrations as I work my lumber. So you can see how creative I am and how talented I am. I'm trying to show two more things here. Here we go. So this video here, this is, I just gotta, so that's me doing a double kick. This is my double kick knockout, basically. So basically, it's like if there's an assailant coming this way and an assailant coming this way, they're both 6 feet high, and this is my double kick knockout. So when my son was born, I went to the bar and there was I was getting shoulder checked all night long, and at the end of the night I defended myself and I ended up knocking out at least 10 guys. I stopped counting at 10. 3 guys approached me at once, and I knocked out the first guy before the second or third guy could hit me. I knocked out the second guy before the third guy could hit me. And knocked out the third guy. They threw exactly 0 punches, and I threw exactly 1 punch per knockout. I could grab an egg out of boiling water without burning myself. And do, well, diminished, I could do a triple clap push-up. So that was at 46. I was at 46. The Canadian government didn't allow me to have abs until, I'll just show you here. They didn't let me have abs until I was in my 40s, like 46. I couldn't dunk out, they didn't let me dunk a basketball until I was 36. My resting heart rate was about 25 beats per minute then. So you can see there's my son tattoo. My name's Christian Eric Garney-Meyer. You can see my unique pectoral muscles right there that Canada denies. And here's my evolutionary abs right here. This is at 46 years old. This is how my stomach looked like before I got to the Sioux Area Hospital. This is the shape I was in. I was ripped. But, at the Sioux Area Hospital, this is the fat compound they put in my food to make me gain weight. I've gained 50 pounds since I've been here. Anyway, so that shows, I was just going for showing basically how intelligent I was. My name's Christian Eric Garney-Meyer, right? Because the doctor, I call him, I go by the moniker, I call myself Smarticus, the Greek god of sarcasm, versus Stupido, Dr. Arbana. He suffers from fooliosis because he's a fool.